Greg Bennett, interview with Roy Greenslade. We'll get straight to it. How long have you been a journalist?
Since 1964, which, I don't know, that's 54 years, I don't know, a long time.
So what got you into journalism so young as well?
Well, a bit of good luck, really. I was very keen to be a journalist, and I wrote to 32 newspapers in the sort of Essex, East London area. I had no luck. My headmaster, with whom I had at the time a very poor relationship, was rather keen that I should leave anyway, and who'd heard that there was an opening on a local paper, probationary period, and within a week, in the middle of my lower sixth year, I went off to the Barking and Dagenham Advertiser and was interviewed by the editor, and he decided to take a risk and take me on.
So in light of that, then, how important do you reckon it is as a journalist to take risks?
Well, yeah, calculated risks. I mean, I think journalists tend to be individualists, and some of the best journalists, as I stress in my lectures when I go on about campaigning in investigative journalists, some of the best ones almost are above and beyond the organizations they work for, they sell their goods to. They're single-minded, often bloody-minded, sometimes very difficult.
Yeah, I spent about a week or so at the Observer newspaper a couple of weeks ago, and I noticed that as well. There's some people that really just kind of stick out, don't they?
Yes, they surely do. I mean, the Observer have got one in Carol Cadwallader, who
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
wrote the analytics story, and that's a good example of it.
You were just mentioning about your lectures. What made you get into academia? Why did you decide to teach journalism?
Oh, that was even more of an accident than my master recommended me. I was approached by one of the academics about, 2001, after I'd been writing at The Guardian for something like 9 or 10 years. And they asked me if I would be a lecturer. And I said on the whole I wouldn't want to be, because I couldn't face the idea that there'd be a lot of administration, which I'm no good at, or anyway, I just didn't want to do. Then they sort of left it, and then 2 years later they came back to me, 2003 I think it was, and said, look, how about you came, you lectured, you marked, but you didn't have any responsibility for administration at all. And so, I thought, well, I certainly don't want to give up being a journalist. So could I combine the two? Yes, because I didn't have to go on the full staff. I didn't have to do administration.
Do you enjoy it? Is it rewarding for you?
Oh gosh, I really did enjoy it. Yeah, it was enervating to, first of all, to see so many people who wanted to be journalists, and secondly, a massive amount of enthusiasm, and that was really heartening. My wife would say that it had a great deal to do with the fact that I liked hearing the sound of my own voice. And there is a bit of that,
Yeah.
But really, it was about the relationship that one gradually forged with certain students who would hang out with me, and over the years have kept in touch, several of mine.
Yeah. Journalism is obviously a very competitive job market right now. And for young graduates, how do we stand out?
Well, look, journalism has always been competitive. It's because it's such an individualistic trade that you tend to, there's lots of competition within offices and lots of competition for who gets the best job in the office and so on. So that's always been the case. I think it is about absolutely ensuring you have a grounding in the basics, the who, what, why, where, when of journalism. Secondly, about being able to translate all that into coherent, straightforward writing.
Yeah.
But I think overall it's about getting story. I went to be a sub-editor and I could play with words and so on. But over the years, I came to realize that journalism is all about story getting, and you're only as good as your next story, one of the great cliches of our trade. But it is the case that, if you're going to make a difference in our world, it's about discovering things that other people want to keep secret. And any of the major stories that you care to quote at any time, whether it be thalidomide in Britain or Watergate or the recent Cambridge Analytica dramas, it's all about breaking a news that someone else would rather you didn't.